We're back with album review.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of dead right now.
It's a duo this week. Yeah, I don't know where everyone went, but hey,
The
we're
dynamic duo.
we're looking at Who by The Who.
By The Who.
Is it a self-titled album? Kinda.
Kinda.
It's kind of.
Gotcha. So, you were telling me there's like little references on the cover.
Little Easter eggs on the cover.
Yeah. I found a couple of pretty notable ones. Batman and Robin.
Yep.
Muhammad Ali, the English flag. Man. I don't know who that is smoking a cigarette.
I'm not sure. I probably know and I just can't tell. There's a lot of cool references to the Who stuff in here too.
The can of beans.
Yeah, from their Who Sellout album. So basically, this is their current album, like their newest album as of right now. Came out in 2019. And me, George, and Chris, we loved this album when it came out. We were playing this shit all the time. Because, like, wow, the first Who album in 13 years. Like, holy crap, this is awesome. So we played the hell out of these records back then. And it's cool going back to this album just to see, like, a little sliver of right before COVID hit. This was December 2019 this album came out. And we were like, damn. It's cool to hear the Who doing new stuff again. And it's the two members that are remaining in here. You have Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend, the legends themselves.
Pete Townsend, the boy.
But they have multiple guest instrumentals coming on this album. And one of the drummers is Zach Starkey.
Not familiar.
Alright, well, let me break it down for you. He is the son of another legendary drummer from a band that everyone knows. His name is Richard Starkey, better known as Ringo Starr.
Oh, no.
Yes, sir.
Way. It's Ringo's kid?
Ringo's kid appears on several tracks on this album as a drummer.
Holy shit.
So there's another little fun fact for you.
That's fucking cool, dude. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, like, none of them are as good as Keith Moon on this album. I'll get that out of the way, but he's just such a legend. Like, how are you gonna top that?
Total stud.
So, shall we hop into the album?
Yes, I'm just quite enamored at this record. Is
Yeah.
it like art? Is it like a little
I don't think so. I think this one's pretty bare bones.
Gotcha. I mean,
Oh, there's them. There's the homies nowadays.
this is them.
Yep. Roger Daltrey and Pete Townsend. So let's get started on the track list, I'd say. The opening track, All This Music Must Fade. This was the first single dropped for the album.
Right.
And I really like this track. It's classic Who to me. Like,
I felt that it was a very unique old school vibe. Like they were trying to just keep the energy and feel of the older albums that they had in the 70s.
Yeah, this is a fun rockin' track. One of my personal favorites on the album. And then the second single, Ball and Chain.
This one I liked.
This is another really good one.
Yeah, I totally dug this one.
Definitely one of my favorites. I love the beginning with the piano build up, and it's just so much fun to listen to this one.
Right. Blast right into the tunes.
Yep. Third track, third single, I Don't Want to Get Wise. This is the one I liked.
I thought it was a very like mellow track. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. This part of the album kind of shows you like what a lot of the themes on this album are. It's just getting old and aging, which is what the Who's going through at this point, because they were the young, snappy rockers, and then they're talking about that in this song, those snotty young kids. But now, like, look at them. They made a name for themselves, and they're old now.
And they're old as all hell. Old.
But hey, it's a song about like accepting getting old.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. The next song, Detour, my personal favorite track. This one's so upbeat. I just love this one.
This was a pretty catchy track.
It's very catchy, very fun, and I could always listen to this one.
Beads on one string. This was a pretty interesting hit.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very interesting listen because I didn't hear anything like this before.
Yeah.
And not being super familiar with the Who's catalog, this song reminded me of something from why do I forget the name of it? It's them in front of like these the Stones. And shit.
Oh, Who's Next?
Who's Next? It feels like something off of that.
Like a lot of this stuff is classic Who to me.
Yeah.
And I think it's really good. The next song, Hero Ground Zero, this one has like an epic sound to it.
Yeah.
But this one's also really fun to listen to.
Street Song is pretty.
I like Street Song.
I felt like it was pretty tame.
Yeah.
Kind of like the more mild Who song, something that was like, I wouldn't say generic. That'd be a little bit of a harsh term, but something that was just a little bit laid back.
Yeah.
So then they're more like symphonic kind of sound.
Mm-hmm. And then there's I'll Be Back, probably the slowest track on the album, and the longest one.
Right.
But I really like this one.
My first impression was, oh shit, it's not over yet.
This is a song that kind of shows these guys are messing with some auto-tune on this album.
Yeah, that was something I really. Oh, dude, I pointed it out earlier, going through my last listen. I was like, man, he doesn't sound right. Something's wrong with his voice. There's like an auto-tune, like a mishap.
It's interesting.
Right.
But, because also other bands like from this era were doing that at the time. Like the Rolling Stones used it on one of their singles during COVID, Living in a Ghost Town.
No, really.
So, there's a lot of like these old school rock bands that are messing with auto-tune now. Ozzy Osbourne did it a little bit. Like,
Ozzy. I feel like that's a cardinal sin to do that, but at the same time, if your voice is not up to snuff.
it's not even that though. Like, it can be used as a cool tool or an effect.
Yeah.
Does it always work? God, no.
Not
But,
often,
like,
not often.
It's not bad on this album, is what I'm trying to get at. It's not the best, but, like...
It's there, it's present.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then Break the News is the next track.
I was gonna say, Break the News, that one was one of the ones I think I saved.
That's one of the upbeat ones. It's another one of my personal favorites. I really love Break the News. It's a fun one. Another one of aging and all that. It's really fun, though.
Rockin' and Rage, is that what that is?
Yeah, I like this one. This one's decent.
I thought it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty interesting sort of forward-driven beat.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah. She rocked my world. This sounds like a dude who was trying to get laid.
Yeah. This one's about a girl. This one's alright. I feel like it doesn't really pick up until like the last minute, and then it just sort of ends from there.
I hate songs like that, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That's kind of just weak.
That's one of my least favorite tracks, is definitely that one.
Right.
And then there's the bonus tracks, because on the CD it came with the bonus tracks. It did not on the vinyl itself.
No.
The first one is This Gun Will Misfire. I really like this one, too. This one's about, like, war and stuff. This one talks about Cuba, talks about the communists and all that.
The commies line, I forgot about
Yeah.
that. I forgot, yeah.
So it's about, like, how accidental war could just happen and whatnot, is what I got out of it. And then the next one is another one of my favorites, because it's so different. It's got nothing to prove. It has, like, a completely different singing style on it compared to the rest of the album.
Right.
But I think it sticks out, and it's really good. Like, it takes me back to, like, old Who stuff.
Very solid track.
Another one of my personal favorites for sure, and it's not even on the original album. And then the final track, Danny and My Ponies. This one's okay.
I thought this was kind of a not mediocre track. That's another harsh term.
Yeah.
But it's just something that was so mild. I was like, I really didn't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was something I was like ready to skip.
Yeah, I get you. But overall, I'd say this is classic Who to me. For them being as old as they are when this came out, it's pretty damn good. And I saw them the year this album came out before. They weren't touring for it yet.
Right.
But it was cool hearing them before this album came out. And I wanted to see them perform this album, but
COVID.
then COVID happened. If I get the chance to, I want to see it one day, because I think they did this album very well.
That would be totally neat. I think that would be pretty sick.
Yeah. What are your final thoughts?
I dug it. I was very, very enamored by the sound. It was an initial jarring shock,
Mm-hmm.
but I was pleasantly surprised by the end. It came together in its own sort of way. Again, not being familiar with The Who, this is something that, like, as a jumping point, this is pretty interesting.
Yeah. And they don't have many albums, honestly. For a band as old as The Who, they only have, like, about 12 albums or so.
Right.
Which is crazy, considering how many other bands that have been around for 40, 50 years at this point just have way more. But it's not the best Who album, but I really like it a lot. I think it's better than a lot of, like, their later albums.
Right. Rock on.
Let's go to scores. I was going to go a little lower, but I think I'm going to give it an 8. I think this is a fantastic album, and great for what The Who could possibly do in this this day and age. Shut up.
I didn't listen to it.
It's banging. What do you think?
I'm going to give it a 7.5.
I was thinking that, yeah.
It's a solid album. It's pretty tame and laid back. Something that I wasn't used to in a while. I've been listening to a lot of extreme stuff, but been pulling back a lot lately, so this was a nice little break from
It's really easy going to listen to this album, so that's what I
Yeah.
like about it a lot.
It took me a couple of listens to have a lot of stuff sink in, but it was pretty much a fun ride all the way through.
For sure.
Neat.
Also, fun little story is a little bit after this album came out, me, Chris, and George all found Detour signs. So we made a fun little picture together, and that was really cool.
That's cool.
And we were thinking of this album the whole time because it was the hot shit at the time for us.
The album.
So,
Oh yeah.
what have you got for us?
So it's a toss up between something chill and something that's a little bit more extreme.
Oh.
So I could either do Knocked Loose
Oh, Jesus.
or Pearl Jam.
Ooh.
I know.
Oh, man, I don't know.
Knocked Loose isn't as absolutely insane as you may think,
Yeah.
but it's pretty nuts. And then Pearl Jam, the album I'm thinking is Versus.
Okay. I'm good with either, but I mean, we're more familiar with Knocked Loose recently, so...
Let's do Knocked Loose.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, man, people are gonna love this one.
We're gonna do their most recent album.
Oh,
This is
shit!
the banger with all the hot features.
I've heard this one's incredible.
Poppy's on it with one of the bigger singles on the track list. So,
What's the
pretty
album
good.
called?
You Won't Go Before You're Supposed to.
Oh, shit. Okay. This is gonna be a heavy one.
Absolute madness.
Well, alrighty then. We just saw these guys live recently, too. So, I'm still pretty familiar with this album, I'd say.
Pretty intense stuff. I'm excited. This is a band that I've been listening to on and off for some time, and this is the first year I kind of got addicted to the sound.
Okay.
And when I found out that this album silently dropped and it just came out, it was like, oh shit! They just dropped something and they were walking away from this bombshell of an album in a great, magnificent way. This album's fucking insane. What's up with these flies?
I know, right? Well, tune in next week where we check this one out.